All right, let's welcome in the Hall of Famer, Brian Bailey, who joins us here on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday, 2 days away, on the David Price Construction Countdown to Kickoff from ECU and Tulane, and a big game here in October. Bailey, I talked to Alex Harper, who you know and who we know, and he said he's excited to have a big football game in October. And you know, we had some in the Holt Nailers era, but man, this one's very important for what ECU could do this season.
Yeah, and it's not a win or go home type deal, but it's very important if you want to be one of the contenders down the road as far as the conference championship goes. Now you're still in the race, with one loss, but you're not as much in the race as you are, especially if you knock off a Tulane, which could be there down the road.
And the Pirates are going to be favored in the next 3 games, you would think, with Tulsa, Charlotte, and Temple.
Yeah.
And then a big date with Memphis. So
Right.
You're right. You lose this one, maybe you ramp up and can get 3 in a row and set up another big game against Memphis. You win this one, I mean, you're not in a driver's seat per se, but you're getting close. You're riding shotgun.
Well, like Coach Ruff would always say, you win that one, but then that one you think you're going to win, you're supposed to win, go lose that one and see what happens.
That's
So
true.
You got to take them one at a time. I like Blake's whole attitude is just, hey, we got to play Pirate football. We just got to go out and do what we do.
Pirate football?
Well, the Pirate football that Blake Harrell wants to play is no mistakes. They've had mistakes, but try to overcome the ones that you do have. But try to play penalty free, which he did a much better job of that in the Army game, and mistake free, which didn't happen in the BYU game. But you learn from those mistakes and go from there.
Yeah, and still saw mistakes in that Army game after the amazing start. You scored 21 in the first quarter. Maybe you can lollygag around a little bit, but not for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But the defense said, all right, 21's enough, 14's enough.
Yeah.
Heck, what, 7 was enough? How much?
Yeah, 7 would be enough.
So they that side of the ball, Bailey, has been shocking to everybody. But when you play Tulane, Memphis, and who knows, maybe even the other 3 teams I mentioned, if you make those mistakes in the red zone, it's going to catch up with you.
And a lot of things, down the line when you play, where's UTSA in their season when you get there? Where's Florida Atlantic's season when you get there? How are their injuries? How are your own injuries? So there's a lot of football to be played, but I think this weird month of October that features only 2 games, we only get 2 times to watch the Pirates. So we'll see them on Thursday night.
Yeah, and I don't know. What do you think about the stadium Tulane has compared to the cavernous Superdome?
Oh, well, it's completely different. It's very, I don't want to say high school like, but it's quaint.
Yeah.
Press box is not very big, and they didn't fill it up the last time we were there. So, and they had a good team that year too. That was Holt Nailers and company, and I think the Pirates lost a fairly close game, if I remember correctly.
Corey Glore told us that he believes the students will be there, and which will give it some atmosphere. He doesn't think.
Well, if Corey's there, it'll be some atmosphere.
He doesn't think it'll be like the Duke game, which was on a Saturday at night, and they were welcoming in their old quarterback and had some buzz for that one and looked good in that game. They controlled that game against Duke, but we know about Thursday night games and. Thursday night in New Orleans is Tulane a top build item to do? Probably not.
I wouldn't think so.
So, but either way, Pirates will roll in there with momentum coming off the Army game. And I asked you earlier, what is Pirate football? Because right now, what is our offense? What does it want to be? I know it wants to be fast, and we've seen the tempo. But you had John David Baker on last Tuesday. He said he wanted to maybe dwindle down the running back rotation a little bit. We'll see if we see any changes, personnel or
he did
or
say
otherwise.
he wanted to instead of playing 3, maybe play 2, maybe play 1 as a bell cow and see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see who that person emerges as.
Let's see if Brian Bailey answers. Sometimes Bailey gets political and doesn't answer questions. So who's Coach Bailey's 2 running backs? Parker Jenkins, London Montgomery, Marlon Gunn are your options. What 2 are you riding with?
Well, and here's the thing. You don't know how banged up they are. That's the thing I've said the whole year.
Health.
What happens when you assume? I'm going, I would go Marlon Gunn. I'd probably go London Montgomery.
It's tough. I mean,
It is
you
tough.
Can make an argument.
You can make an argument for all
of them.
three of them
Yeah.
when you think about it.
Those are the two I went with too. But like Parker Jenkins, like
not to throw him under the bus, but I remember London Montgomery's debut, and Morgan had it backwards, and he said, "Carry by Montgomery, London." And I was like, "Who the heck is that?"
Montgomery, London.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I thought it was a British guy playing for the Pirates. But
I hope we see Marlon Gunn, Louisiana kid.
Yeah.
And can get in it. He's going
it
to
just seems like every time he runs the ball, it's 4 or 5 yards.
I think so too. But, I've seen some folks say that he should be the odd man out. I think Harper said that last time they went there, Gunn had like 50 tickets for family. So he should have some family there. And hoping to see him get in the end zone. And Pirates have put some points on the board. I wonder how many they need to score this week, Bailey. 7 would have been enough against Army. What's enough against Tulane?
I would say you're looking at closer to 30.
I agree. Yeah.
28 maybe.
You remember the total, Jarrett?
55.5.
55. Tulane's about a 7-point favorite. So you say 30 to 23.
Boy, that
ish, 31-24.
D.H. Conley brain was
I got it pretty
churning
quick.
over there, wasn't it?
31-24.
Pretty good.
Ish.
Yeah.
So let's get 33. And one of my worst takes of all time, Bailey, could be saying the ECU needs to score 30 points a game for them to win this season. Said that before the year.
Yeah.
So hopefully the defense heard that and is playing with their hair on fire because of our preseason comments.
One of the other things that Blake said in his press conference that when they go on the road, they want to go, and I didn't realize they actually went to the beach when they went down to Conway. But, going to, get the beignet right there and see the cathedral in New Orleans. And I really thought the Rocky statue would be really cool. But then as Blake said on my show, he said, most of those guys don't know what Rocky even is. Unless they've seen Rocky
Adrian.
8. They may have seen Rocky 8.
Creed, his dad.
Yeah.
His dad and Rocky. And,
Yeah.
Bailey's worried about, what are you going to wear, Cowboys gear in Philly? You said you were worried about a night game there.
I wouldn't wear a cowboy hat in Philly. Although, when we were in college, me and a buddy of mine, we actually went to the NFC Championship game. Was that 81? I believe it was, and Wilbert Montgomery ran all over the Cowboys. But that night,
Talking about the Eagles?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Philadelphia.
I don't know.
So we were up there for that, and we actually wore cowboy hats and went out on a taxi ride. And we told the taxi driver that we were from Dallas and we were here with our rich uncle going to the ball game.
Oh, man.
Wearing my cowboy hat around.
BB and
some of the Eagle fans would see, you say, howdy, y'all.
I don't think.
How you doing?
And I know you and Meador and have gone to, and maybe Washington, Dallas is a little different, but not really. I mean, people hate each other at these football games.
Oh, they
I would
do,
not go
man.
to any road game.
Well.
Philly would be last,
Yeah.
dead last.
I used to would do it, but I don't think now. I'm old.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to fight with anybody. Last time I went to a Washington game, I remember wearing some stuff. In fact, I forget which one that was, but we ran to a drugstore on the way to the deal, and I had all my gear on, and somebody in the drugstore thought I was Wade Phillips.
Well, I can see that.
They said, "Are you the Cowboys coach?" And I said,
Yeah.
"Yes, I am."
Is this on the house? Or they charge you double?
They probably charge you double there.
Yeah, but
I remember people yelling at me and booing and stuff, but Meador almost got in a fight in the bathroom. Remember that story? He was in the bathroom and the guy says something like I hate you because we're such rivals. And Meador, in his infinite wisdom, said, "That's no rivalry. We've won 16 of the last 18."
if Meador gets in a fight at the McDonald's, he can get a fight anywhere. Just
He
kidding.
sure
just
did.
kidding.
I finally had to say, "Lighten up, Francis."
Hey, look, jeering is fun. I love talking junk, but some folks can't handle that or alcohol. So
I can't handle alcohol or jeering or any of it.
I like watching from home at this point, and enjoyed watching watch the first half of the Bucks, second half at home. My Commanders beating the Chargers, and Bailey's Cowboys putting up some fireworks, some offensive numbers, and playing some defense
Trying
against
to.
the Jets. on
I was
Sunday.
really surprised that they were able to play so well offensively with 4 starters out, but that really bodes well for them, I hope, because that shows a little bit of depth. And I'm telling you, the more – it's funny because when the Micah trade first happened, I bet it was 90% of the pundits out there just ripping Jerry, ripping the Cowboys. But now they're starting to come around.
Nobody's coming around.
Yeah, they're coming around. It's a better deal for the Cowboys.
Okay, when the Packers are in the playoffs and the Cowboys aren't.
Well, they won't be in the playoffs because of Micah.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
All right. Bailey's got. I like when you're this kind of Bailey.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Yeah, you get excited.
Well, I
about your team.
Micah against the Cowboys, they got credited for a sack that he shouldn't have. And that was a good play. He made a good play.
Well, against my team, he sure did dominate. So,
well, I'm glad he did.
Good. It's coming up soon, right? Commanders, Cowboys.
It's coming up.
Game.
Cowboys have the Panthers this week, the Broncos the next week, and then the Commanders after that.
What'd you call them? The Commanders?
I'm going to say
the first time you ever said it? We got the Bears and then Cowboys. Yeah.
Well, I got a game out of whack.
Yeah, we're coming up in 2 weeks.
We played the Panthers, and then we played it. I thought we had the Broncos in there.
Monday is Bears Commanders, and then that following Sunday, the 19th, Commanders at Boys. And if both win,
the more you win, the bigger they are.
Biggest Cowboys Commanders game in a while.
It will be.
Where are we watching?
You got a mouse in your pocket?
That's one of my favorite Bailey lines. I knew it was coming. Where are me and the mouse going to watch that game, Bailey?
Yeah.
You wouldn't invite me into your home to watch that game? I appreciate that.
You put me on the spot. No, I probably would invite you over, but I'd have to,
You go Buck tiebreakers?
We could do something.
I've watched the loss.
We've done it before.
I've watched the win at tiebreakers with you. I've watched a Monday night loss or Sunday night loss with you.
Yeah.
For my team. So, but man, it's fun that if they're both winning record.
That's the one thing about it. You root against them while you watch them. Then after the game's over, you say, "Well, they won. That's okay." Then you look at the standings. You're like, "Well, that makes it a bigger game if you're both in there." So yeah, I agree.
I'm excited. Speaking of big games, how about Trey Yesavage in a big game?
Oh man, that was so much fun to watch. And and I didn't know Trey that well, but I knew him pretty well. He'd walk up and do interviews, and we did so many interviews with him, and so many different times to get a chance to watch him pitch for East Carolina, and just that just doesn't happen. I mean, I didn't realize he pitched on every level of minor league baseball this year. I knew he was in some of the lower ends and moved up pretty quickly. And then he goes out, and not only does he pitch well, he dominates. I mean, absolutely, the baseball saying is shoved, but he shoved.
Against the New York Yankees.
Against the New York Yankees, and it was just fascinating to watch. I mean, every pitch, every strikeout, and and then to top it all off, the interview they did with him on the field, I think you guys showed it. We showed it on the air last night. He thanks his family. He's in tears. He thanks the fans. I mean, man, he can run for mayor in Toronto right now.
No doubt, and then win it in a landslide. But that has kind of got me into postseason baseball. I sent you a message when the Cubs won the wild card. Things have changed since then.
A little bit.
Good news: playoff baseball in Wrigley coming up. What do we got? 5:08 tomorrow.
5:08.
Bad news. Must win time already for Chicago.
3 in a row must win.
Yeah, but
we'll see.
Look, playoff baseball in Wrigley, Yankee Stadium tomorrow, and for you Meador heads, Dodger Stadium as well. So, and heck, even the Tigers getting a playoff home game will be cool. Just because we haven't seen it in a while. They play today. Coming up as we
4
speak.
o'clock, I think. Yeah.
They are getting underway, and then you got Blue Jays and Yankees coming up tonight in a playoff baseball, and then just one more thing to follow: Hurricanes will be opening their season, I believe, when ECU plays on Thursday.
Yep.
7:30 face-off and kickoff.
Yeah.
Canes Devils. Talked to Mike Maniscalco on the show today, and I know that's something Bailey, us folks, start to pay attention to when the calendar flips almost, but just another thing going on in the world of sports.
And really, it's the closest professional team we have to Greenville.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks in Greenville and Eastern North Carolina are big Caniacs. So we try to do a pretty good job. We don't get a chance to go there very often until the playoffs. In the playoffs, we got a chance to go, right much. But It just depends on what's happening locally here, because we've got great high school football, we've got great volleyball, we've got some teams that are going to go a long way in the playoffs in volleyball. Just some other things, just keep an eye on. So
we're in the big part of the high school football season with conference plays and rivalries going on. What's coming up? Touchdown Friday.
It's funny you say that, because we're still trying to figure out our game of the week, because normally you take two teams with really good records, and that's the game of the week. But there aren't really any matchups like that. Right now we're leaning toward Jacksonville at 6-0, playing host to J.H. Rose at 3-3. But that could be a blowout, because Rose had better come with their belts tightened to play Jacksonville. Jacksonville put it to them last week when they played New Bern, and that was 47-24 at the half or something crazy like that.
Rose getting their act together again after a slow start, right?
They've got an injury at quarterback, which is hurting them a little bit, but they ran it up on South Central, so that's why we're leaning toward going with that one. But we'll see how that all plays out.
All right, good deal. Anything else going on, BB?
No, that's all. I was out last week, met my high school buddies, and had a good time with that, and we tried to go fishing. It was more of a boat ride, really. Really wasn't much fishing going on. But just seeing those guys, man, when you get older like this, it means the world to you. So that did mean a whole lot.
Very cool. You going to New Orleans?
No, we were taking off the road this year as far as that goes. So we do the coast.
You can't hitchhike there?
I'll try to talk to Ellery, but he's got a crew already going, so they didn't need me. But
I can't believe you wouldn't ride with Chandler and Jenny and Jarrett.
Yeah.
Well, they're flying. But.
Yeah, they're flying.
So you gonna hang out with me?
I'll hang out with you. I'll be there first half hour or whatever you need me for. 3:30.
Right. Your loss is my
Thursday.
game.
There you go. I'll be here with you, brother.
We'll be in studio, and we'll feed you some great food from Fifth Street Hardware.
Good. That's good stuff.
Hoping they bring them Philly sliders back. Those were awesome last time. So we'll see you Thursday, 3:30, Bud Light pregame tailgate, getting you ready for ECU and Tulane. Thank you, BB.
Thank you.